Good morning. Saturday afternoon with John. So listen, y'all, I woke up this morning and I went out to do some laundry and something caught my eye and there was a puddle of water on top of the water heater where the pipes come out. So I was like, dang, it's old, it's probably 20 years old, you know what I'm saying? Because my grandfather put that in. It's probably older than 20 years. You know, I ain't touch it because this is where I live at. It's a family house, and it was my dad's, my grandfather. Now I stay here. You know what I'm saying? It's my house. Well, I'm working on the house. Y'all gonna see a lot of that. We live in an RV next to the house because it's been a rental property for years in the family, and it's dilapidated. I've been to prison. I've spent most of my life in locked up, strung out. You know what I'm saying? So it needs a lot of work. So that's why we got an RV. We got two RVs. My mom lives in one RV. Me and my wife live in another RV. And we have a laundry room out back with the hot water heater, the washer and dryer and stuff. It's been like that forever. But I went out there this morning and I see some water on top of it. So I shut the power off. I shut the water off, shut the power off. And I go back there and it's totally messed up. So I call around. It's hard to find one, and the cheapest one I find is like $400 at Lowe's. I think I found a smaller one tomorrow for $100, but I'm out of water. I don't got no water because it's off. So, and I planned on getting up and playing the game. It's Saturday morning. I live stream video games and stuff, but God had another plan for me. He said He wanted me to use my skills. I'm very skilled. And since I've been in addiction for so long, I stopped using my thinking skills, motor skills, just common sense. Instead of saying, oh, I can fix that. For so many years, I was so bad in addiction and didn't care about nothing but feeding my habit. It's like, oh, I don't know, But now it's making me think. I got to be a plumber. I got to be an electrician. I got to go shop around, find the best deal. I might have to move stuff around because it's a different water heater. And if y'all know anything about electricity and water heaters, some water heaters take 240 and others take 120. And my water heater takes 240. So I'm going to have to go back to the panel. Luckily, I got a sub panel in the laundry room. And I'm going to have to take one of the leads from the 240 and land it on the neutral bar to turn the 240 into 120. But I'm gonna make a little video about that, and it's just stuff like that I know that used to be such common sense. I had to think about, like, oh, I'm gonna have to do this step, this step, this step, this step. But what I'm saying is, when y'all fresh into recovery, if you get overwhelmed, if you don't know what to do, and it's normally so normal to do, don't stress yourself out. Take a breather. Play it. Run it through your head. Checklist. Run it twice. Run it by somebody. Call a friend. Call somebody that you know about it, So that's just a little, thank God I got my dad, because I can call him and ask him questions, and friends and other people. Like, you have to get back into society, because our biggest problem in addiction, we isolate ourselves from so many people, and it doesn't hurt nobody but yourself. There's 2 heads, 3 heads, 4 heads, 5 heads is always better than 1 head. Just a little food for thought. And God put it in my heart to get my testimony out. Like, I ain't gonna lie, there's a couple times today I was like, man. And you know how many times I've changed the hot water heater out? You know how many times I've replaced all the plumbing, electric? You know how many times? I can't count. But still, because I haven't done it in so long, like the anxiety, the worries, and that's the devil blocking you back from your full potential. Listen, I fight with myself every day. This is not an easy journey. If it was easy, we would already had it conquered. We already done it. So it's a constant battle with yourself. Always try to Sharpen your tools. Like, if you do something, try to figure out the best way. And that's why I love YouTube. That's why I want to have my channel on YouTube. Like, I started on YouTube, and I went to TikTok. I went here and went there. But YouTube has always been so helpful at problem solving, helping me get through tough situations. And that's why I made my channel, to help y'all through y'all's tough situations. You're not alone. We're all in this together. And that's the problem. When we get an addiction, like I said, we isolate ourselves. And we don't want to associate with, because we always think somebody's trying to get over on us. Just want to use our stuff or this or that. You know what I mean? And I'm not here to do nothing but help y'all. Give y'all a few good words of encouragement. Instead of kick you while you're down. I want to help you out. I want to reach a helping hand out like Jesus did to me. And pick me up and dust me off. So I'm going to reach my helping hand out. And help you reach for Jesus. Because He's the true answer. He's the true glory. All glory goes to God. None of this would be possible if it wasn't for Jesus Christ. None of this is my own doings. My own doings sent me to prison. Kept me strung out majority of my life, and I was probably better off in prison when I wasn't in prison. That's what some of my best thinking got me. When I had control, when I thought I knew what I was doing. But when I gave it to Jesus Christ, all the doors He's opened is amazing, and all the doors He's closed needed closed. But I couldn't do it on my own, and you can't do it on your own. There's no way I could fight this addiction. These are evil spirits we're fighting with, disguised as addiction. Y'all ain't hearing me, man. If y'all hungry, eat it up, man. Just a little word of advice, you know, a little food for thought. If you're hungry, eat it up. But I'm about to have to go to Lowe's and get a few different fittings, because what I'm going to have to do is just put a bypass. I'm going to just hook the hot water and the cold water lines together, so I have water till tomorrow, because I found a hot water heater on Marketplace, but it's not going to be here till tomorrow. And my wife is at work right now, and I know she's going to want to take a shower. It's not going to be a hot shower, but at least she'll have a shower. Actually, the other RV does have a hot shower, because that one's still running off of propane, because RVs run off of propane. But one of them was a lot closer to the laundry room. Like, you could walk out the door and you're at the laundry room. So it was short to run a hot water and cold water to the RV. And I plan on running it to the other RV, but it's way across the yard, and I just got hot water. The crazy thing is that hot water heater hasn't been used in years. I'm talking about probably 6 or 8 years, maybe 10, because nobody was living here. And when we put the RVs here, we've been living here probably a year and a half now, but we were using the propane that comes with it. We just ran the water hose out to the RV. We got hooked to the septic, but we were just using the water hose. You know what I'm saying? So I got tired of changing out the propane. There was a bunch of propane, but especially 2 RVs, it's a lot of propane. So I ran actually, you know, it's crazy how leaks happen. My hot water heater on my RV started leaking a month or so ago. So I looked that up, and they're like $1,000 to replace the little baby, like 4-gallon propane hot water heater, which is terrible. You know what I'm saying? So I replaced the lines, because the way that some RVs use, they use this big hose line, like more like a water hose. It's not the right diameter for the PEX fitting in the PEX. They make the right one, but they don't put the two together, which is crazy. You spend all this money on an RV, and they don't even put the right fitting, so it leaks 4 or 5 years later, 10 years later. It's leaking probably the same year. I don't even know how long it's been leaking. I just know my wife noticed it under the stove. There was a little puddle of water, and it was leaking long enough it swelled up all the wood and stuff. So I researched it thanks to YouTube. Shout out YouTube. So, and it's a real common problem in certain RVs. So I had to go buy the right PEX to fix it, to swap it. But I don't got a PEX connect or a crimper. And them things like $75. So I went to Lowe's, I bought it, I bought the PEX. And when I did all that, I had to replace that. And when I put it back together, the hot water heater wasn't working. Something, I don't know if it was something when I disconnected, hooked it back. I don't know if it was something I did, or that's why it made it start leaking or what. But I knew I had a hot water and a cold water PEX connectors sticking out the bottom of my RV. So what I did is the laundry room's right over there. When I had to buy a roll of PEX anyway, so I needed a piece. It was enough to run it from the hot water heater to the RV. I dug a trench, I laid some hard PVC pipe down, and I ran the PEX through the PVC. And you know, shout out my grandpa, when he built the laundry room 50, 60 years ago, whenever he built it, he ran the hot water to the house, and that started leaking years ago. So I disconnected that and just had a cap on it. And for years, for the last year and a half, the only thing that had hot water on the property was the washer and dryer from the city. You know what I'm saying? That was the only one thing that had it. So when that hot water stopped working, I said, I'm just going to run the PEX. I'll take that that cap off, and run it. Instead of running to the house, I'll run it to the RV. And my grandpa already had a hole in the concrete where he was going to run other conduit or pipe or something. He just pre-planned, because my grandpa was a contractor. So I'll tell y'all another funny story about that. Matter of fact, I'm going to jump in that right now. My dad was the head master electrician at the Disney Cruise Terminal in Cape Canaveral, Florida. And when he was running all from the powerhouse, when I was a little kid out there, I was a baby out there in the trenches and stuff. Dad had a big backhoe and stuff. But they called for 20 pieces of conduit to run underground from way out the electrical house, underground, under the parking lot, into the Disney Cruise Terminal, up through the tile floor and all this, into the breaker room, or whatever it's called, powerhouse, whatever. The powerhouse outside and the breaker room inside. I might be saying that wrong. I'm not an electrician. My dad's an electrician. So, it called for 20, and he ran 40, and when he ran double what they called for. So when they filled up all their conduit that they had in their half, they said, well, we need to put, Dad said, you don't have no room. There ain't no room. He said, you got extra conduit out there. He said, I'll sell it back to you. I'll sell it to you per square inch. They're like, no. He said, all right, well, cut up your finished parking lot, cut up your finished tile floor, and run some new conduit, because I'll go put concrete in those. Those are mine. You know what I'm saying? So what did they do? And that's what happens when you let the architects plan everything on the computer and think they know everything. But the workers on the ground, the real hard workers that's building the buildings that the architects try to design, they might design it, but it ain't going to be perfect, and it's going to be, you'll have a lot of checklists, a punch-out list at the end. And you have to be pre-prepared. You have to, and that's what it goes back to thinking the bigger picture. And that's what my dad always taught me. Growing up, he always taught me, play the tape through, boy. Play the tape through, boy. And you know, it took me so many years growing up in the juvenile halls, juvenile programs, county jail, youthful offender camps, YO prison camps, and then prison camps, multiple prison camps, multiple prison bids. And he always told me the same thing. He never really got on to me, never really was mad at me. You know what I mean? He just always he was disappointed, obviously. Nobody's going to be happy at their child, but he wasn't angry at me. He was just disappointed and always stressed to me. Play the tape through, boy. play the tape through, boy. And you know, it took me almost 40 years to start playing the tape through. But thank you, Dad. You know, it's just little things like that, you know. And he instilled that in me all through my childhood, all through adult. And he never really elaborated on that. He just left it at that, boy. When you figure that out, you'll figure it out. You'll figure out how to stop going to jail when you play the tape through. When you figure that out, you'll figure out what keeps you out of jail. And sometimes it don't matter what somebody tells you. You're going to have to experience it on your own. Because my family's told me about addiction. They told me about drugs. Listen, I'm from the streets. Everybody I know live, die junkies. And for me to be able to play the tape through now and better myself and try to bring other brothers and sisters to Christ, to sobriety, to happiness, not being mad all the time, not having bad anxiety, not being stressed out. Because you need to stop praying or stop worrying about your problems and start praying about it. That's the only way to fix your problems. I don't know. I just wanted to make a quick little video. It's Saturday afternoon. I'm about to have to run up and grab some fittings so I can, like I was saying though, my grandpa had the hole under the concrete slab, so when I ran the PEX to the RV, I just had to dig up underneath it a little bit and slide and shoot the PVC pipe so I can put the PEX through there. And it's just pre-planning. And that's all I can tell y'all, man. The more you prepare for the future. Like, my grandfather had the sight to look 50 years in the future. Somebody might need this access hole in this concrete slab so they don't have to drill a hole and hit metal. And we're just going to put a little piece of pipe right here. You know what I'm saying? So he got a little access hole through there. It's pre-planning. Y'all ain't hearing me, man. So whatever you're going through, just make sure you're planning for the future. And a lot of y'all like, I'm not even in a place to be planning for the future. But you are. Whatever you're going through right now, pay attention. Figure out what got you there. And figure out a way to get out of there. That's all you got to do. It's not rocket science. It's people, places, and things. You keep hanging out with the same people. You keep doing the same things. You're going to get the same reaction every time. People, places, and things. You keep hanging out with the same people. Keep hanging out in the same places. Keep doing the same thing. Nothing will ever change. You have to take effort. Get on your knees. Give it to Jesus Christ. Stop worrying about it and pray about it. Just a little food for thought. Y'all hit that follow button. Hit that subscribe button. And watch me on my journey of sobriety and representing Jesus Christ and planning for the future. We do recover. In the name of Jesus.